voice of the Dolphins, Barry Milligan. And Barry, an exciting weekend now that we finally have dried out from the trip down to Lake Wales. A big win for the Dolphins, 40-24 over Weber International. What were your thoughts from the opening game?
Well, anytime you win the opener, with all the nerves, the anxiety, the butterflies, new players, injuries that we had, gee whiz, there were so many elements there, and obviously not all of them positive for the guys to have to deal with. So, bottom line, I thought the composure was excellent to be able to come out and be very efficient offensively early in the ball game and take the early lead. As we know historically, Jacksonville under Coach Kerwin Bell has been very, very good when we score first.
Absolutely.
We were able to do that, and I thought, as well as Weber played, and Weber played a heck of a lot better than that team played a year ago when we handled them very easily on homecoming. This was a very solid win for this team.
An impressive outing from Josh Philpott, the sophomore, in his first game out. Really a coming out party. 6 catches, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's as impressive a debut as you're going to have to a season.
It really is, and he's fulfilling expectations. We've been hearing about this young man since he walked onto this campus, how, again, Coach Bell has had some special things to say about a handful of players. Josh McGregor was one of those. He always talks about Josh having the it factor. Whatever it is,
right.
Josh has it. Rudolph Small was one of those guys. Sean Lewis has emerged as one of those guys. He's talked about Philpott in that same exact tone, saying that this guy has a chance to rewrite the record books. And yeah, he does. We saw that actually on the field with one of the top 5 receiving days in the history of the program, and a kid that just seems to be able to find those seams, runs good routes, very disciplined. And again, credit to Ernie Mills, the wide receivers coach, that Ernie has said, these guys are paying attention. If I can teach them, if they will listen to me, I can teach them. And he's doing a very good job. And Philpott, boy, put it into action on game day.
Looking at the defense, a very good defensive performance for a lot of guys in new roles. We had 4 starters out.
Yeah.
Had to put a lot of guys in new roles. Lane McCombs, he's played middle linebacker for a year.
Right.
He's got shipped to a strong side linebacker. Kali Fafita, the freshman defensive lineman, gets thrust into the starting role. Lacey McDougal makes his first career start. So you've got a group of guys who come in and made a lot of have a lot of different roles that they hadn't had before.
That's right, and we saw, a lot of guys, freshmen and sophomores even, cycling in there that we expected to see, but you don't know what to expect in terms of what we're going to get out of them once they get on the field. But, again, Sean Lewis anchoring the defensive line. Just was a terror up there for much of the day. And credit, too, once Lane McCombs shifted to the strong side, here's Alan Fennell, another guy that's played a lot of football, older brother of JoJo Fennell. Stepped right into that middle linebacker spot with a ton of experience, made a lot of plays.
12 tackles in the game.
Led the team in tackles, was around the football a lot. The secondary, a little bit inexperienced, obviously. We were without our preseason All-American, Coach Wood out there, who's like a coach on the field. We really missed his play and leadership on the field. But again, it was, a team or a unit rather, that Joel made huge stands when it needed to. Got a 3-and-out when we really needed to. Stood up when it needed to most to prevent that game from being closer than it was.
Now let's look ahead to Sanford. Last year was Appalachian State, the top-ranked team in the country.
Right.
This year, Sanford, obviously they're not the best team in the Southern Conference, but they're sure not the worst team. They're picked to finish in the middle of the pack among a group of teams that may have a shot at the playoffs at the end of the season. This is kind of the game that Coach Bell wants every year.
Right.
It's that game where you
right.
test yourself against one of the teams that thinks that they're going to be in the top 25. Your thoughts right now? I'm excited about it because it's a great opportunity for this football program to take that next step. We took the first step last year by winning the league. Now you've got a chance of taking that next step and making a statement national.
Right. Well, it's an interesting scenario, of course. You think about last week. All right, here's Jacksonville, a 1AA opponent for Weber International, an NAIA school. I really felt like Weber played one of the best games that it can play. There's talent on that team, but This is an NAIA school that was jacked up to play, and I thought played up a little bit. You look at that same analogy last week. Samford comes to Orlando, takes on a UCF team that's had some terrific games over the last couple of years. And really, UCF, I mean, you look at all of the press clippings and all of the reviews from that game, I mean, the kind of the feeling was UCF escaped with a 4-point win over Samford. We just, I think, have to hope a little bit that Samford was playing up a little extra jacked up for that game. But, you know, Joel, there are new facilities at Samford. There's kind of a rejuvenated excitement, and everybody gets excited about opening day at home. And we are the opponent for the home opener. And, you know, again, I think the Bulldogs are going to be loaded up a little bit, despite the fact that they're playing down on paper. You know, but you have to hope, again, our kids respond the way we did at App State. We go in and play excited. We go in, you know, running around and showing a ton of energy. And hopefully we'll be able to equal, if not surpass, the energy of the Bulldogs.
It'll be interesting to see I'm excited to see the defense finally get together out there.
That's true.
Everybody has been cleared to play this week. Jason Wood getting him back's going to be huge. Rolando Finez on the defensive line. That's going to be huge. Will Perry, we didn't see Old Spice out there.
Right.
So it'll be exciting to see this group get back on the field. We'll be hearing more from you on Saturday on game day. Bono's pregame show airs at 6:30 Eastern time. Barry and I will be calling the action live from Birmingham. We look forward to talking to you then on Saturday. For now, this is Joel Lamp and Barry Milligan on JUDolphins.com.